powerful. And I ride on all the comments earlier about the significance of today, and congratulations to the team. You know, at the end of the day, what we're trying to do is put a measure of value to what we do as coaches. And I think the significance of the launch today is that this is a tool that helps us really be credible around the hypothesis that if leadership development is important, and if we support leaders with the process of coaching, X will happen. There's a theory of change. And that theory of change needs to be measured in order to understand its impact. And therefore, I believe that in the very definition of metrics is the purpose of understanding value creation. And I love what Dumi has just said, because in that definition, we're giving a value and a meaning to this process, because there's a desired state or vision in mind at the end of it. There's an outcome we're looking for. So I think it starts with a definition of metrics. And as Drucker said earlier, you know, the quote was said, what gets measured gets improved. And from a perspective of results, at the end of the day, especially in organizations or even in personal development, what we're looking at is to achieve a goal. And so being able to measure it means giving it a value. And so where is the place? The place in organizations, I believe, is really at the strategic level. Because if we're talking about results, whether for profit or not for profit, there is a gain. And we must understand how well we have achieved that gain. And so for me, I believe the place for measurement is from a strategy results perspective, but it's also at an individual level. And so there are different levels at which we look at the place that metrics come in. As individual leaders, there's an opportunity to understand the baseline. Where is my starting point? Because if we think about it, leadership development is really an indicator of where you are at a given point in time, meaning that in the future it can evolve. And we understand from what has been said earlier by Renee, it has to evolve because the world we live in is changing so fast. And so in terms of place, I think it has a place strategically at an organizational level, but also at an individual level, and should be part and parcel of generating results and reporting so that you can learn. And the benefits, I think, have been mentioned earlier. I think the benefits, if we take it right from the continent, where we started with Dr. Tugu, if we're going to transform Africa, and leadership is one of the key parameters that it can make a big difference, how can we ensure that what we are saying is actually valid and credible? I think we have to measure it. And by measuring it, we're giving it a value and meaning so that this transformation we speak to can be identified at a national level, can be identified at a community level, organizational level, and individual level. We must give a quantifiable measure that we can articulate. And I want to give you an example. One of my first clients was an international bank in Zambia, and they brought me in to support the development of entry-level managers. 7 years down the line, I had the opportunity to do a master's in coaching. And I decided to look at where these managers were. And today, some of them at headquarters, some of them at group, some of them are branch managers. Now, I needed to understand, what did I do? I was trained as a coach. I have been mastering my own competencies as a coach and skills, but I wanted to appreciate better what is it that I did? And that's why measurement then became important, because my initial priority was being a good coach. The next priority was then understanding my role in change. Then the next priority was then what led to the change, what delivered the change, what supported it and facilitated it. And it meant measuring it. And that's where the measurement is so important. And we're at that point in time in history where this matters. So when we talk about the investments, when we talk about the importance, it's about evidence-based information for decision-making, collecting data, organizing it, and using it so that we can continue to understand the value. Was the original value that was created achieved? Or were the original assumptions not correct? What are we seeing so that we can continue to evolve coach training, and that we can continue to evolve leadership development so that it can be on point? And as we measure, we're able to report and understand what aspects of this are being affected by the external environment, be it the culture, be it the economy, be it other significant technological innovations that are actually affecting the environment and the context within which we are asking people to lead and generate results. So I'll go back to where I started. If transformation matters, if we are going to be serious, we have to use tools to accompany the transformation. We must be able to measure it. And so I ask all of us as coaches that we should be able to apply these tools that are being developed. And congratulations to CDI for putting out into the market tools that understand the context of not just the leader, but the organization. One of the first CEOs I coached, I had a challenge because I supported the coach. And I want to say that I sent him back to the scene of the crime, the organization. At that point, I took it as the scene of the crime because there was no organizational coaching culture. I had no tools to measure it, to understand what was happening in his world. And now, down the line, having had experience as a coach, I now understand that I sent him back and I send my clients back to the scene of the opportunity, because the scene of the opportunity is the organization. And if we can support the organizational culture, then I'm sending back these individuals into the scene of the opportunity. And we are in a window of opportunity. Thank you.